Hey, what's going on YouTube? Here I am basically in my really messy garage. Got the truck, and we also got a brand new 6th Gen 4Runner. More videos will be coming on that. But I just wanted to do a quick video on just some of my favorite Overland mods that I've done to my truck. They're kind of smaller and not too many people talk about it, because there's the obvious ones like rooftop temp, bumpers, suspension, stuff like that. But I've done a lot of smaller ones that, you know, are just a convenience thing. So let's get into it. Now, if you're wanting to run a fridge or other stuff that needs power while your truck's off, getting a hood solar panel is actually pretty nice. So this is a Lenson one, it's 90 watts. It's been on here for like 3 years, and you know, there's a little bit, but that's normal, a little bit of damage. But it's still rocking and rolling after 3 years, so they do last. So I'd recommend getting one of these. Now, do not make fun of me on how crazy under the hood is. I have just so much going on in this truck that it's horrible under here. But I would recommend getting a dual battery setup. You can jump yourself, you can do all the things, you can, you know, you have more power and get appropriate batteries for it. So I would recommend getting something like this. You know, it's not talked about too often since it's portable batteries and stuff, but I still went with the dual battery because, you know, it's kind of a lifesaver and you get more power. Now, coming into the passenger seat, I have the glove box organizer shelf. I highly recommend getting that. You can store a lot more stuff in there more efficiently. And then in the center console, I also have the spreader, so I could put random stuff in each hole. It's kind of really crowded right now, but if you didn't have that, it'd be all over the place. So I recommend getting both of those. It's just easier for organization. Now, inside my truck, I recommend getting a switch management system, so you're not just having a whole bunch of, you know, standalone switches. This is a Switch Pros. I like the Switch Pros, but there's other ones like Auxbeam or whatnot. I'd get any of them as long as they have a decent warranty. This has never gone out on me, so I highly recommend the Switch Pros. It just makes, you know, running a whole bunch of stuff easier. And if you come over here inside the vehicle, when you're off-roading and stuff, sometimes you need maps on your phone. So get a good phone mount. You know, it's relatively cheap and it just is more of a, you know, time saver. Now, obviously, most of us use a propane stove when we're camping. Go get a bigger bottle. Stop relying on the 1 gallon ones. Those are, you know, they take up a lot of space. They're weird to store and they're not really reusable. So go get like a 5 gallon one like this and mount it somewhere where it's out of the way. Just spend the extra money and it'll save you money in the long run. And those 1 gallon green bottles, they've gotten so expensive recently. So just go get that. Now, if you have a truck and you're overlanding, you use this, you know, tailgate a lot as a table. Go get a tailgate insert. They're not super expensive. The ease of life of doing this instead of having this ridge stuff in the back of your truck, oh my gosh, this makes it so much easier. Now while we're at it, go follow me on Instagram. I post a lot of other stuff on there. But anyway, Snail Armor sent this out to me. Greatly appreciate it. Go get one of these. Snail Armor, I like the flat and it's light. Like some of these are kind of thick and heavy from other brands. Snail Armor is really basic, light and flat, so I recommend getting this. In the back of my truck behind my seat, I got the EcoFlow alter generator right here. I wired it up and screwed it to the back plastic. I just took the plastic out and screwed it there. And then what I do is I just basically take the cord and I wrap it around here and plug it into my solar generator. And it just sits right there. But yeah, I highly recommend that. I can literally charge like 1,000 watt hours in like 30 minutes of the truck running. Way better than a cigarette outlet. Keeps you always powered up when you're overlanding. So I honestly recommend it's not just EcoFlow that makes these. I know Anchor makes one and stuff like that for their batteries. So just shop around and I recommend it. Now, my favorite like all-time overland mod, if we climb up here on the tire, is getting Starlink hardwired in my truck. That is one of the best convenience things that I've done. And I know camping, you kind of want to get away from signal and stuff, but I work with my phone. I'm a boss, so I need to always be contacting customers and stuff, even when I'm camping. So that was really nice. Starlink Mini, don't get any other ones. This works perfectly fine. I could game if I wanted to off there. Now, while we're up here, another solar panel. This is from Merlin Solar. This goes on the iKamper. This is another 50 watts straight to the battery, just to help maintain battery when I'm camping. Now, I talk about these a lot, but if you haven't seen them, the Apex valve stems, you literally just unscrew it right here, pull this lever, and you can air down your tire within like 3 seconds. Highly recommend that, saves a whole bunch of time. Now, coming to the other side of my truck, behind the seat, I got a nice 10-inch sub by JL, and in this whole truck, I have a JL audio system. My thinking is the audio in this sucks. I daily drive this. I love music and I love blasting music, so I upgraded the whole audio thing. Highly recommend doing that. The original audio in these trucks are absolutely horrible. except these new 6th gens. This has the whole JBL system, but these just suck. So I'd recommend just tearing it all out and upgrading it, get an amp, get some speakers and a sub. Highly recommend. Now I recently included these on another video, but these Rhino rack mounts to mount like a shovel and axe to your bed rack, or I guess your roof rack if you wanted to. They're the best mounts that I've ran across, so I highly recommend getting those. They're lockable and you just like press these buttons and it pops right out, and they're pretty stable. Like I can shake my whole truck with the mounts. Easy install, highly recommend those. Well guys, that kind of does the video on just some smaller Overland products that aren't super talked about. You know, it's not like a bumper or rooftop tent or something like that. So if you got any ideas from that, give me a subscribe, maybe like the video. Liking the video does help. My videos have actually been doing good recently because of all the likes and comments that you guys are leaving, so I greatly appreciate it. All right guys, well, let me know what you thought in the comments, and then what's your favorite small mod, or you know, just not super talked about Overland mod for convenience or whatnot. Have a good day.